Good morning. Happy Sunday, everyone. So, hustling does not make you rich. It just doesn't. It only makes you tired. It only makes you tired. I want to talk about hustling, right? Because, listen, I get it. When I first embraced entrepreneurship, I had definitely had the hustle mentality where I just would work, 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 work. And as I began like really diving into what I desired, what I liked, what I loved, the hustling just didn't register for me. No matter what was going on around me, it just wasn't in alignment with me. And I'm so grateful from a business perspective that I had an opportunity to be exposed to things being done differently, right? Because it really changed everything for me. And this morning, what I want to talk about is more so along the lines of your quality of life. Y'all say hello in the comments for me, okay? Say hello. Let me know, what type of business do you own? How do people get to experience your gifts? Hey, Patrice, how are you, dear? Good morning. If you guys can do me a favor, if you've seen my trainings before and you found value and you think this would be valuable to someone else, share it out. If I say something that helps your business or your life in any measure throughout the broadcast, just tap the screen for hearts and let me know it's registering for you. Oh, awesome. Beautiful. Where are you located? Do you mind? Where are you located? So I get it, right? I get the fact that um, we even have like this thing called the hustle culture, right? And I understand when you don't know differently. That's just what you do. Hey, ladies, good morning. That's just what you do. I want to talk about this as it relates to our quality of life because it's so important. Now, for those of you who are believers, I got a little scripture that I'm going to bring on in as well. I'm an avid reader, but I'm an avid reader of the Bible. And a lot of times I see life strategies, I see business strategies, and I believe that God's desire for us was for us to live in peace, love, joy, harmony, prosperity, all of the things. And I don't think that we understand when we're doing things the other way, we're actually still operating under the curse. Y'all don't hear me. I ain't gonna go there. Not just yet. So I want to talk about 3 reasons why people choose hustle as their way of doing business and their way of doing life. Currently in Columbus, Georgia, Phoenix City. All right, relocating to Florida. I've heard a lot of people moving to the Florida area. Is it the weather? Um, what's taking you to Florida, darling? That's beautiful. So, and I believe there's seasons in our life where what we need is in another location, but that's for another day, right? So, 3 reasons I feel people choose hustle as their way of doing business and life. Number one, learned behavior. Let's just think about it. If you've seen a parent, a family member, your aunts and uncles, the people around you working really, really hard, then oftentimes that is our idea, our mindset of how work has to be done, right? So it can be learned behavior. Many people have not been counseled or mentored otherwise. So even in the perspective industry you may be in, I see some stylists on the broadcast this morning. Listen, most of you may have, if you work with someone else prior, or if you're working with someone else now, you probably still see the owner, hustling. She's hustling just as hard as any of the other stylists in her salon, and she owns the business. And so, a lot of times, why people choose hustle, and they may not even realize it, right? They choose hustle as a way of life and a way of doing business is because it's learned behavior. That is what they learn. You got to hustle hard, you got to go hard. You may see people working 2 to 3 jobs, in your family dynamics. But if we think about it, hard work couldn't possibly be the answer. It couldn't possibly be the answer because there are a lot of hardworking people who are still broke. Somebody tap the screen. Somebody tap the screen. There are a lot of hardworking people who are still broke. So at some point, we have to come to the realization that hard work is not the answer. It is not the answer. Now, I'm not saying you don't have to put in work, but we know that hard work isn't the answer because there will be a lot more people living super blessed lives, and their quality of life would be different. I believe that much of our frustration in the world space and just a lot of things are connected to our economy and how we earn money, how we have to go about earning money. The second reason why people choose hustle as their way of doing business and life, and I kind of tapped into this, is because they have not been counseled or mentored otherwise. Now, this isn't to say that you don't have a mentor or you don't have a coach, but unfortunately, what I see, even if coaches have, amassed large amounts of money or they're doing well, they're still teaching people to hustle hard, do these 50 different things, um, open up another this. I mean, it to me, it's still hustle culture. So the second reason is because they have not been counseled or mentored otherwise. If your mentor is hustling hard, then that's the dynamics, that's the path that she's going to take you on in order for you to get it. I'm not saying that you can't get to your next level. I'm not saying that you can't assess amounts, larger amounts of money, um, by hustling hard. But what is your quality of life like when you do that? Most people are so burned out. Most people are so burned out when they reach a decent level of money. They either feel like giving up, they are too tired, their quality of life sucks, right? The time that they have to spend with family and friends is just not there. Even if the time is there, how they feel. Patrice says, when I got into the beauty industry, one of my first mentors talked about hashtag team no sleep and hashtag hustle game. And as a single mom at the time, that was not realistic for me. But let's see, for me, but sustainable for me. Nearly 10 years into my career, I no longer subscribe to hustle culture and I'm much more open to opportunities for growth. Listen, when you're hustling, you can't even see an opportunity to grow. When your mindset is on, it has to be hard, it has to be, you have to hustle to get it, you can't even see other opportunities. You're so in the routine and the grind of the thing. And oftentimes, when we have that learned behavior, even the opportunities that we choose, if it sounds like it gets to be simple or it gets to be easy, we'll think it's a fluke. Listen, I'm here because I wish I had learned this earlier, right? I do wish I learned it earlier. There was something always on the inside of me that desired to work smarter and not harder. But if I knew the realm that I've accessed now a long time ago, many things in my life would be different. I think I would have avoided a lot of things. Most of you are parents, wives, you may be taking care of a parent, or you have nieces and nephews. We have other things outside of just working that helps us to have a whole and a full life, right? And so the third reason, people choose hustle, right? People choose to hustle as their way of business, doing business and life, is because they have not even heard of another way. They haven't even heard of another way. Like, this is all they know. And I have a bonus. The fourth reason is they live in survival mode and not abundance. They live in survival mode and not abundance. I think I have five. Okay, I have five. I thought I had three, and I got five reasons written down. So, in survival mode, we will always choose things that cause us to survive and not thrive. But when you have shifted to an abundant mindset, you will you will begin to not only attract but pay attention to things that allow you to live in abundance. When I hear abundance, and I think sometimes just the word abundance gets misconstrued, especially if we still have a survival mindset, because when we think abundance, we'll think a whole lot of everything. Guys, listen, I have days where my payment processor will say $5,000 or more for one customer, for one client. For many of you, that will tap into the majority of your bills for the month, or maybe two clients at that measure would do that, right? I'm not working definitely not working as hard as I was before, but even from a marketing perspective or attracting the clients, it's actually simpler. It's actually simpler. I'm going to go into detail and break some things down from this psychologist where he talks about the five, basic human needs that every human being has. And I want you guys to really pay attention to this because I believe that those five things are things that we need as humans. And what you'll find on that very basic, it's like a pyramid, what you'll find at the very bottom, hey, Monica, dear, how are you? Is survival. It's survival. So, anyway, the fifth reason why people choose hustle for their business and their life is they have not decided that they deserve better. They haven't decided. Because really, guys, it's a decision that you have to make that it gets to be easy. It doesn't have to be hard. For those of you who are believers, that you're not operating under the curse, right? The curse tells us that we will operate by the sweat of our brow if we are under the curse. But we've been redeemed. Bible says we've been redeemed. Let me give you guys the definition for redeemed. Listen, this is why I say when people read the Bible, they often think of it as this religious thing, but it's a way of life. I don't see religion in it other than, you know, how we've made it out to be. I see very practical, knowledgeable things in the Bible that help us to live a fulfilled life. So, this is what redeem means in Hebrew, guys. It means to regain possession by payment, to buy back something that was lost. So, when we think about this, Ephesians 5, I'm going to read for a minute. Ephesians 5 through Ephesians 5:14 through 5:16. Wherefore he saith, awake. Listen, wake up is what he's saying. Thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light. So I think a huge part of light that we need to step into now that we've been redeemed by the curse is that it doesn't have to be by the sweat of our brow, but we oftentimes choose those things either in relationships, we choose struggle, in life, we choose struggle. And for those of you who now operate businesses, it rolls over into how we do business. Ephesians 5:15 says, be careful how you live, not as unwise, but wise. If you had an opportunity to have a better quality of life, to earn more money in an easier way, do you think that's wise or unwise? Somebody put it in the comments. Is it wise or unwise to have a better quality of life, to earn more revenue, and for it to be easy? Is it wise or unwise? Ephesians 5:15 says, be careful how you live. Be careful how you live. Not unwise, but wise. But hear this. Ephesians 5:16 says, redeem the time. God is telling us to redeem the time. You all remember what I said redeem means? Redeem, God is telling us to regain possession of our time by payments, to buy back what was lost, to buy your time back. And most people are using their time, energy, and effort on their life instead of buying back their time so that they can have a better quality of life. It says, redeem the time because the days are evil. He's telling us to make the most of your time. Do you think that struggle is making the most of your time? It's not. It's not. And there is another way. And the moment that you can get that shift in your mindset, you'll begin attracting things that help you to operate your life easier, your relationships easier, your business easier. Listen, it says redeem the time. He said, redeem the time, buy back the time. Now, some people don't want to hear that, but that means you're going to be using your money to get your time back. Okay, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So Maslow is a psychologist that came up with this pyramid that talks about the 5 basic needs of humans. And these are the needs that he named. We all have these needs. He actually talks about how we may not realize that we have a need until we have completed the first one, but it changed. He changes his mind a little later. So the first need that every human being has is for survival. This is a physiological needs that we have. This is for food, shelter, warmth, clothing. Would you guys agree? Everybody has that basic need. It's a desire that we all have as humans. Number 2 need is for safety, right? This is where we need order. We need control in our life, predictability, emotional stability, financial stability. This is where once we figured out how to get some food, shelter, clothing, and some warmth, we want it to be stable. We want it to be stable. I think every person on this earth desires that, right? Thirdly, he says we have a social need, right? And this is a need for belonging, interpersonal relationships, friendships, acceptance, things of that nature. We all have those needs, right? The fourth one is to be esteemed. This is for achievement, mastery, things of that nature, helping out in society. We want to help others. And then the last one is self-actualization. And this is where we just continue to grow personally, right? We just continue to grow personally. Now, at one point, Maslow stated that a person never recognized that they had any of the other needs until they had 100% completed the other needs, right? And I'm so glad that later on he came back and changed it, because we know, so if the first need is survival, food, shelter, warmth, and clothing, if you came from a wealthy family, right? If When we look at a wealthy family, their children, they don't have to actualize survival because that's already provided for them. They're not worried about food, shelter, warmth, and clothing. So that debunks what he originally stated, that you have to 100% complete the survival level of the hierarchy in order to realize that you have a desire for safety. We know that's not true, because with wealthy people, their children don't have to go through that survival mode. They don't have to go through that. So they actually skip some of those steps. So let me ask you this. If there is a possibility that you don't have to get completely out of survival mode, you don't have to have complete safety in order to realize that you want to be loved, you want belonging, you want achievement, you want mastery, that means it can be done a different way. You don't have to. Most people are really aligned with that first level on the pyramid of hierarchy. Like, it's like their mind just can't move past the survival mode of food, shelter, warmth, and clothing to do the things that will bring those other levels of hierarchy into their life, because that's where their mindset is. Patrice says this is prevalent in our community as Black Americans. I've been so surprised at how many people who have benefits of paid time off and never use the PTO. That's huge. We have to ask ourselves, like, where is this coming from? where we feel we have to struggle. It has to be hard. Um, she says they never use it and will judge their coworkers when they take time off. Listen, a lot of things that people don't understand, they will often disagree with and actually argue with you about it if they have not stepped into that realization. So what we're really dealing with here, guys, is quality of life. Remember I said the bonus reason why people hustle, they choose hustle, and I say choose, right? Because it is a choice. And I know it doesn't seem like it's a choice, but it is a choice because if you the moment that you decide that it gets to be easy, it doesn't have to be hard, or that you're going to go in another direction, you will attract things, you will attract opportunities that allow you to do it more easily. Because you don't have the eyes to even see what you don't believe. Listen, we only achieve what we believe. You don't get what you want in life, you get what you believe. And if you believe that it has to be hard, if you see an opportunity that's going to make it easier, make it lighter, you won't choose it. You won't even think that it's possible. That fifth bonus said they have not decided they deserve better. And oftentimes, when we see people who are doing well financially, we come up with all types of things, that discredit why they are desiring more. But I mean, if we take it to scripture, he says that we should be planning for our children's children. And most people can't do that off of the average, salary or way of earning money that they've been accustomed to earning money. It doesn't allow you to take care of your children's children. God does desire that we are blessed, and if you've been redeemed from the curse, then working by the sweat of your brow is not the way that you have to do it. It's not the way that you have to do it. So I taught about so one of the things, let me go back to Maslow, his hierarchy of needs. I love the pyramid that he established, but he later changed it because at one point he was saying you had to like completely get to the point where you've established each level before the desire or the need for the other arises. I disagree, right? So when I'm working with my clients in business, one of the things we do is decide where it is that they want to go. So on his hierarchy, self-actualization is like the ultimate goal, the highest goal, right? So if that was my client's desire, or if their desire was to, earn a multiple six-figure business or $1 million business, we would start with the reverse in mind. We would reverse engineer. We would have our mind on where it is that they desire to go. And most people in business haven't decided. Most people are just going to work every day, saying, I'm just going to work a little harder and it will happen, whatever it is, right? And so most people have not decided. And the thing about deciding, they may have chosen, I choose to do this, but they have not decided. When we decide, it means that you cut other options off. Did you guys know that deciding is a very definitive thing that you do? It is a decision that you make where you cut off the other options, right? But if you're choosing, that means it's still other options floating around, other ways that you can possibly do it. I made a decision. I made a decision. And when I made that decision, I began attracting coaches, attracting opportunities that were in alignment with what I had decided. I decided that I get to have a better quality of life. Riding my bicycle. I know that may seem so simple to people. Cooking great meals, having amazing, long, connected conversations with people that I love and enjoy. Today, I'm doing I'll be on a call doing a Bible study, something, I mean, like deep dive Bible study with some scholars, some biblical scholars. Things like that are quality of life for me. But I can remember when I was hustling hard, even if the time was there, because we know this is Sunday, right? Even if the time was there, I didn't feel like doing it, right? And so the way that I was doing my life, I was in struggle love. Um, I was in hustle mode in my business. And the way that I was doing life didn't allow me to have the quality of life that I have now. Listen, God said He wants us to, He said, redeem the time because the days are evil. Remember, redeem is to regain possession of your time. And then it says by payment or buy back, right? So He's telling you, invest, do whatever you need to do to buy back your time, to get your time back. It's one of the reasons as a business coach, I teach my clients, I said, look, you need a premium product. You need a premium product. Most people, listen, remember the first hierarchy is our first basic need is for survival. And if we stay in that mode, all of the clients that we get, every effort that we make, the new businesses that we open, they will all be collectively there so that we can maintain survival, right? And this is why I teach my clients. I say you need a premium offer. A premium offer is an expensive offer, if that's what you want to call it, right? Because what happens is when you're trying to bring in a lot of little or lowered amounts of services, you have to do so many of them just to meet your basic needs. Is this making sense to you all? Just to meet your basic needs. And most people will burn out before they get to the point where they have built up their business to the point where they're even charging more. I hope this is making sense. And so we've been doing this thing backwards, guys. We've been doing it backwards. This is why people go out of business. This is why people stay in survival mode. This is why people get burned out. Every 3 months, they don't know if this is what they want to do anymore. Burnout, it comes from burnout. Let's think about it. If you have, and now I think there's a place in your business for price uh, lower price points on your services and products. I teach different business models to my clients, but oftentimes people will say, well, you know what, I'm just going to start off with this low price thing, whether you're a coach, so you may be a coach, or you may have, I have a client who custom designs things, right? And yeah, she could do 50 of those, but the quality of her work, she can do one and be in four figures for that one item, right? And whereas before, she would have to do 5 of those things just to get to that amount. She would be burned out. She would feel like people were getting over on her. It takes away your desire to do what it is that you may love to do, right? And so that survival mode will keep you stuck. It will keep you tired. This is so when I say premium product or service, when you have a premium product or service, number one, it calls you higher. It calls you as the provider, the service provider, or the person who is coaching or teaching or training. It calls you up higher. So you grow in the process, but you also don't have to work as hard. You don't have to work as hard. I teach this process called the 3 stages of growth in a business: the seed stage, the growth stage, and the stage of expansion. And the seed stage is when you're hustling. You just need something you can play with now. And there are many people who've been in business for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 5 years, 7 years, who are hustling their way through. They're hustling their way through the business. And it is a direct reflection as to why they are constantly burned out. Many of you have a gift, a talent, an expertise, some intellectual property that you can turn into a premium offer, a premium product, and not have to work as hard. But you first have to shift your mind and say, it does not have to be hard. This, you know, scrambling for it's not even wise. Come on, we talked about wisdom earlier. It's not even wise. Why would anyone even, let's just think, right? Why would we even choose to do it the hard way if there's a different way that it can be done? And most people are so stuck in the doing stage. So I did a video where I shared with you all, I had learned about the 4 levels of value in the marketplace. And the lowest level was implementation. That's when you're still doing the work, right? The second highest level of value was communication. The highest level of value was imagination. When you're beginning to get paid for your communication, that's me speaking, teaching, training, coaching, speakers, things like that, your communication. When you begin to get paid for your communication, you're actually accessing more of the spiritual side of your business. That's the being side of your business, and not the doing, and not the doing. And actually, people who communicate, people who express their gifts through communication are paid more. They're paid more. If you have a premium product, you are working less, right? It's less your effort. I wanted to share this because I wanted to bring a space of awareness about how we're doing life and how we're choosing to do business, right? Like, is it really wise? But some of us have been taught that if we don't struggle through it, we're not worth it. Like, it has to be hard, it has to be difficult. And some of us haven't been taught to buy back our time. Some of us haven't been taught to invest our way out of the struggle. We haven't been taught. It's like, in our mind, it's harder to make that exchange. We would rather make the exchange of our quality of life, our time, our other resources. We would rather make that exchange for an elongated amount of time, going through burnout, than to buy back our time, meaning invest in order to get what it is that you need so that it gets to be easy. It gets to be easy. Listen, it was mentors and coaches, guys, that shared a new way of being that allowed me to have a different quality of life, a different quality of life. And it began when I thought that you had to like get 50 clients and work really hard. And then I saw my mentor doing things completely different. She owned a business, 9 of them, that she was never at, and they were making good money. It changed my perspective about how we had to earn money. And so I'm challenging you on today to step into a space of abundance, to really think about your mindset and the way that you have felt that you had to do things. Listen, people will cheer on struggle. We'll cheer it on. Yeah, girl, you so strong. Yes, but it is unwise, especially when there is another way. So, my Exceptional Leaders Mastermind is open for enrollment. It does require an application. It is a premium offer. Now, in that, I'm going to teach you about being. You're going to create a premium offer. You're not going to have to work as hard as you're working now in order to make it happen. And for those of you, I get it. It's a shift. Remember, it's a decision, really, that you have to make. But for those of you, once you apply, we'll hop on a call to make sure it's in alignment for what it is that you need and that you're in alignment for the mastermind. But the opportunity to even apply ends on the 31st. Once you've applied and you've been accepted, then you make your investment. Now, with the investment, one of the things I did was I created a button through PayPal that offers you an opportunity. It'll say, you get to choose which option of paying that you want to do. But if you're doing the one-time fee for the investment, it offers you an opportunity to pay no money down for 6 months, right? And so you would have to click the pay later button. It's several like options that PayPal gives you as a choice. It would immediately pay for your investment into the exceptional mastermind, but the terms with PayPal would be like no money down immediately, and then you have 6 months interest free. But you have to read the details once you click the button. But I want to help people with their quality of life. I want to help people to work smarter and not harder. And I want to help them shift their way of thinking. We'll be talking about being and money mindset. You will create a premium offer, a premium product or service throughout that time frame. It is a 6 month um, coaching opportunity, mastermind with other women who are serious about their next. And I love the diversity um, in the group. I actually have someone in the medical field who is in the group who is taking her gifts, her talents, her expertise, and she's turning it into cash. She's turning it into money. She wants a different quality of life. She wants to vacate more. She understands that it doesn't have to be hard, right? And it doesn't have to be hard for you as well. For those of you who are interested and you wish to apply, see, an abundance mindset would at least apply if you feel led, if this is speaking to you. But fear is one of the reasons we stay in struggle mode. This is one of the reasons we stay in survival mode and hustle mode, because we fear what we have not, what we've never done, what we've never been able to tap into, right? Renewfullcircle.com/E2022. I'll come back and put it in the comments, or someone can scribe it if they can catch the link as I'm saying it. Renewfullcircle.com slash the letter E 2022 is the link for you to apply. For those of you who have applied, your investment, I went back and did for those of you who just applied and haven't clicked the investment button now, there is an opportunity with PayPal to pay later, or you can choose one of the other options. You can pay in full. I've had people to just pay in full, no financing or anything. But I don't want to be one of few who has accessed this realm of ease and grace and flow in my life. I believe quality of life has a lot to do with our mental and emotional health. I believe quality of life and what we're responsible for has a lot to do with it. Excuse me. I believe a lot of it is attached to our economy. A lot of it is attached to our economy. So my assignment in this season is to help women step into new spaces of thinking about, how they're doing life and stepping out of survival mode into a space of abundance. And once you've, like Patrice was saying earlier, she just wasn't connected to that team no sleep anymore. And we do have mentors and coaches who will tell you that go hard. You can't sleep, you can't rest. Like, people burn out. People burn out. I had a coach one time who that was her message. But because I knew that that's not what I desired, I was able to eat the meat, right? Get what I needed, what I paid for, and not follow in those footsteps, right? Because it just wasn't in alignment for my life. I had a young daughter. I owned a brick and mortar business. I was married at that time. It just wasn't conducive. And so the moment that I changed my mind about what I deserve, right? I kept saying, this can't be God. This can't be God. Just can't possibly be this hard for the rest of my life. Now, I'm not saying that you don't do any work, but where you put your efforts will give you a better quality of life, because you're not all over the place, right? You're not having to do 5,000 people in order to just meet that basic survival and safety level, of Maslow's hierarchy. No, When I think about wealthy people, their children skip that. That means that there is a space that you can ascend to, where when you tap into that other level, it automatically takes care of the bottom levels, right? So again, reasons people choose hustle as their way of doing business in life: one, learned behavior. Number two, they have not been counseled or mentored otherwise. Your mentors can earn a lot of money, but the way they earn money is the way they're going to teach you to earn money. Whether it's Team No Sleep, Go Hard, listen, however people choose to do it, I'm not saying that it has to be done another way. I'm just saying there is a different way. There is an easier way to embrace the process. Um, Number three, they haven't heard of another way. Some people just simply haven't even heard it. They haven't been exposed. They haven't seen anyone. They haven't come across a training with someone like myself who's saying, listen, I'm telling you guys from my own personal experience, I didn't know it either, but I do now. And this is what's happening. And not just for me. Guys, I have clients who were in my previous mastermind. Now, this is, I always have to like take a step back from the results that my clients get. Like, I mean, I still have to embrace it. Like, wow. Not that I don't believe in what I'm doing, but to actually see it manifesting in people's lives, it's a level of fulfillment that I can't really put into words. But I had a young lady who started out, she took a chance on herself. And normally, what people are making used to be like a disqualifier, because I didn't want people to like struggle to be in the mastermind and not be able to enjoy it. But I knew this young lady just had it, right? I've had several people who started out who were only making about 30 something in their business, who ended up tripling, hear me when I tell you, their income. Do you know your quality of life changes when you go from 30 some thousand to 90 some, almost six figures or six figures? I've had people to begin having 16K months, $16,000 a month from creating a product or service, shifting their mind, right? A premium product or service, shifting their mind about possibility and about money. I've had people who quadruple their investment in this was, I had a year long mastermind, but in 4 months they had quadrupled their investment. I've had people who work with me for 3 weeks and their income increased by 30%. So I'm not just the person, because sometimes there are situations where the person who is teaching is the only one that's getting it. That's not the case. My clients are doing well. And there's always a new level of growth that we can access. Even when we think about Maslow's hierarchy system, hierarchy of needs, self actualization, that stage is when you're just in a space where you just want to continue growing. And from that space, we can give back to the community, our family, we're leaving legacy, our lifestyle changes, all of those things, right? And remember, I like to reverse engineer. So it doesn't mean that you got to get all this stuff right on this survival level in order to access a new realm. In order to access a new realm. So for those of you who are interested in joining us for the Exceptional Mastermind, we begin on June the 7th. So it's not a lot of time in between now, but the application process ends on the 31st. And then the investment part ends on the 2nd. You can do a one-time fee, and you have to learn as a coach to can't count people's money, because you don't know what people have. I've had people who just pay for it straight out. Just pay for the whole thing straight out. But there are installment options, and there is also an option that you can click on through PayPal that gives you several different options. I believe one of them is no money down for 6 months, interest free. But you have to click it to see the details and what you qualify for. But I'm just going to help women step into a new space of being and not doing, a new space of trust, to shift their mindset about money and how it has to be done. And also, I walk them through my program called Teach What You Know, which is only taught in my mastermind, or if I just so happen to do like an intensive, like I recently hosted. It's the only place where I do the Teach What You Know, where I teach you to turn your gifts, talents, expertise into a course, and you learn how to do it with ease. A course or a premium offer or a premium product or service, but you need a premium product. If you're in business, you need a premium product. It gives you leverage, right? It gives you leverage so that you can breathe while you're doing the other things in your business and in your life. It gives you leverage. And that's what most entrepreneurs don't have. They don't have the leverage, so they're having to do all of those little things to maintain, right? But when you have a premium offer, and listen, there are people who only want premium offers. They're tired of all of the $97 courses. They're tired of the freebies. They want to get to the meat, right? They want to get to their next level. And oftentimes when they see some of those really low prices, they're turned off. Listen, my clients who purchase my premium offers, they already made up their mind before they got to me. Did you all know that? They have made, it's not a lot of convincing. They've either seen my work and decided, people that I don't know have applied, that I haven't worked with before. They haven't taken any of my other courses that may not be a premium offer. I didn't know them, right? So they had already made up their mind. And what I'm sharing with you all here is because I know sometimes when you're thinking about offering premium offers and services, you're like, but who? Who's going to buy it? It's a whole market of people who don't want all the busy stuff. They're ready. They want something exclusive. They want something premium. They want the best. And listen, if you're the best, people don't expect you to be cheap. I'm going to say that once again. If you're the best, people don't expect you to be cheap. It's a mindset we have to shift out of. And oftentimes, pricing is so huge in most businesses, even if people do like a commodity business where they may have a product, a smaller product, a lot of times it's not even priced properly. It's not even priced to profit. Or they're not thinking, I'm going to have to sell 5,000 of these. 5,000 of these to even balance out. And the hustle to do that. Hear me again. I'm not saying don't have those things, but I believe there's a space and a time for those lower price offers and services. And also, they need to be leading to something, right? If you don't have any leverage, most people burn out in those lower price offers in the process of building their business. They burn out because they have to do so much. That's my take. I would love to support you. RenewFullCircle.com/E22 Exceptional Leaders Mastermind. Exceptional Leaders Mastermind. We talk about your leadership. We talk about stepping into a new space of trust, accessing a new realm as it relates to your money mindset and abundance. And then we also create you a premium service offer or product that has the probability to take your business to a new level and just change the quality of your life. And for me, it's about quality of life. Listen, I remember being a mom, a wife, a business owner, cab driver, uh, therapist. Women wear a lot of hats. And it's really difficult for us to operate in our natural nature of femininity when we have so many masculine things that we have to do. Somebody tap the screen for me on that one. When you got to provide and you have so many different things that you are responsible to and responsible for, it's difficult to be feminine. It's difficult to even embrace our femininity when we got to do a whole lot of hard stuff. When we have to do hard stuff, that's when our masculine energy, it just steps to the front, because that's what the masculine energy is. I just want women to move into a space of ease and flow in their life, change the quality of their life, the quality of their experiences, right? We're not under the curse anymore unless you choose to, or unless you're doing something in your life to operate under that. But it says we've been redeemed. Remember, I said redeem is to regain possession by payment or to buy back something. And Ephesians 5:16 says, redeem the time because the days are evil. And even with the word evil, it means the days are so disagreeable, right? There's confusion, there's stress. Because of that, you need to buy back your time so that you can handle all of the things that we face just in life on a daily basis. Your quality of life, right? Remember, the bonus I said was um, people choose hustle as their way of doing business and life because they have not decided that they deserve better. And deciding is to cut off all other options. So again, Exceptional Leaders Mastermind, renewfulcircle.com/E2022, renewfulcircle.com/E2022. You do have to apply. We'll hop on a call normally within 48 hours, but because the time is so short, I'll probably call you a lot sooner than 48 hours to see if you're in alignment. It's going to ask you a few questions. First, it's going to lead you to a calendar. You're going to pick a date. If the date, because it's so close, I'm not sure if a date it may even be available on my calendar. I may have to go and change that. But if a date is not available before the 31st, make sure you message me, right? And then we can kind of jump over the calendar because I don't have my calendar open, or it might not be available before the 31st. If you see that when you go to the calendar, because when you hit apply on that page, it's going to send you to a calendar. And if it doesn't allow you to get in before the 31st, you should message me, right? So that we can hop on a call to see if you're in alignment for what we'll be doing over that 6-month time frame, and to make sure it's in alignment with what you need at this season in your life and in your business, right? That's my take. Listen, hustling doesn't make you rich. It only makes you tired.